To Jeff Thompson.
It's a fine shot from John Wright. Very well placed and comfortably beating Rodney Hogg into the mid-off fence.
Thompson over-pitching. And it really was right.
There's the bouncer. That's gone over the top of Rodney Marsh's head, well over the top in fact, and through to the boundary, hitting the sight board which constitutes a boundary. That was a very fast delivery.
Jeff Lawson comes in now to bowl to John Wright.
A slashing cut there from John Wright over the top of gully, crashes into that third man fence. It really was well timed, that shot.
John Wright takes strike now to Jeff Thompson.
Doesn't make any difference because he finds a gap through cover, comes down that delivery, puts the back middle and off, racing out to the boundary for 4 runs. It's a glorious shot. I just wonder, Fred, how John Wright would handle the in-swing it to him from off the leg with that stance.
Carl Rackerman comes in now and John Wright has taken strike.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. High in the air, over the top of the infield, 3 bounces into the boundary fence of square leg.
Carl Rackerman hasn't played a lot of cricket of late. And that's John Wright's 50.
Another beautiful shot, beautifully timed. John Wright is playing magnificently. That's another 4, that's 9 fours. 36 of his runs have come in boundaries. And he now has 54.
Well, this wicket at the MCG came in for a lot of criticism last season. And certainly New Zealanders probably couldn't believe the transformation in it. Print out of John Wright's strokes. None through, really through the cover area, couple through mid-off. He's very, very strong there. Big pull on the onside. And one clipped back with a square leg.
That's in the air, this could be out. Dyson's underneath it, he won't drop it, no one. John Dyson takes the catch, and John Wright out going for the big one to square leg. He got a bit of a top edge on that. It went high down to Dyson, who's fielding right on the boundary in front of the member.
John Wright, certainly a very good innings from him. He's given this New Zealand side a great start. And he's out for 54, 1 for 84. Rackerman to Howarth. And he's out, caught and bowled. Carl Rackerman striking again from second wicket. Jeff Howarth not quite to the pitch of the ball. I don't think Carl Rackerman could believe it when he accepted that return catch from Jeff Howarth. This has been a good breakthrough for the Australians as Howarth is out, caught and bowled Rackerman for 5 and New Zealand 2 for 89.
So Crowe now in. And Rackerman the bowler. Footholds there. That's driven beautifully and Thompson won't reach that one. Right off the meat of the bat again. Oh, when the New Zealanders have hit them today, they've certainly stayed put.
Greg Chappell to Crowe.
Oh, that's in the air. It's going out towards third man. In comes Lawson. He'll catch that. Yes, he does. And another big breakthrough there for the Australians. On that occasion, Crowe trying to whip the ball on the onside, getting a top edge. It's spooned up in the air down towards third man. Lawson came in and made no mistake.
Jeff Lawson likes taking catches. Unfortunately for New Zealand, they lose another wicket. So Jeff Crowe out for 7. Greg Chappell strikes and 3 for 98. Rackerman comes in to bowl to Jeremy Kearney.
And there's an edge. Rodney Marsh has taken the catch and Carl Rackerman has picked up his 3rd wicket. Delighted Carl Rackerman. And a pretty thrilled crowd here at the MCG. Plenty of Australian flags.
Putting the finger up. And now New Zealand are 109 for 114 for 4.
Chappell to John Morrison. There's a man down at deep backward square, but that'll do no good. It's gone over the fence on the first bounce. Just behind square. That's a good shot from Morrison.
4 for 128 as Rackerman begins a new over, bowling to Edgar.
And he's out LBW. Yes,
I think he knew it too, even though he had his back half turned to the umpire. Bruce Edgar quickly sneaked a little look from a lowered glance and found that umpire Rex Whitehead had given him out.
Miss Edgar.
That's gone. There's a big deflection. A big deflection. And the
Flags wave as Morrison departs. He is out.
in nature.
Hadley goes for the big hit and he gets hold of it. A big hit. One bounce, two bounces into the fence. The crowd who gave Richard Hadley a fairly hostile round of applause.
Lawson to Richard Hadley.
It's a big hit. That could be six. That's a massive hit. Dyson coming around. That's a beauty. 8 rows back over the long-on fence on the Melbourne cricket ground. That is a mammoth hit. And Hadley taking to Jeff Lawson, the man of the series in the test matches.
Webb now facing Rodney Hogg.
Webb's got hold of that, and that's a good shot. He's pulled that forward a square. Races out to the boundary. That's a good shot. Off Thompson, was dug in, was inside the line, and he hooked it square.
Lawson to Peter Webb.
Webb goes, he's bowled in, trying to drive. Ball pitched by Lawson, good bowling. Webb enticed into the big hit down the ground. Too quick for him, through his defence. It was a clean bowled by Lawson.
And a good delivery from Jeff Lawson. It was up around about the stumps. And Webb out-bowled Lawson for 9 and 767.
Hogg to Hadley.
Hadley dives, could be out back pad. Hogg thinks he's out. Umpire Rex Whitehead doesn't. Nor does Hadley. Oh, the crowd roar. Hogg very confident there. So was Rodney Marsh as he ran up to congratulate Hogg. He's hit straight. What a good hit. Straight down the ground. Thompson coming around. Doesn't cut it off. Beautifully timed straight hit by Richard Hadley. He's got the big crowd in his hands now. Hogg's bowling flat out. Not good running. Lance Cairns not back up. There's a chance of one, but beautifully back. Chance to run out. He's gone. Hadley will be gone. What a tragedy. Yes. Oh dear. Never ran off a misfield, but what a super bit of fielding by Kim Hughes backing up there. The throw was wild, wide. He threw himself. Made a great save. And Hadley couldn't make it. His hands kept coming. That was a super bit of backing up by the Australian captain.
You never run on a misfield. And Kim Hughes throwing it to the bowler's end. A lot of pressure on Jeff Lawson. It wasn't easy to take, but he was right behind those stumps. And out goes Richard Hadley, striving for the crease. And what a great breakthrough and a let-off for Australia. Getting Richard Hadley run out for 24, and now New Zealand 8 for 173 with 8 overs remaining.
Hogg to Cairns.
To get the throw in.
Oh, and he's dropped him. That was a great effort by Hughes, diving away to his right there and getting a right hand to it. Had he caught it, it would have been
Hogg's 8th over.
And it's a great catch. Rodney Marsh has got it. A thick outside edge there from the bat of Snedden, and Rodney Marsh makes no mistake. He caught that perhaps 3 or 4 inches off the ground, and it was going down and very quickly.
Great catch by Rod Marsh. That is now 9 for 181.
Lawson now to Lance Cairns.
Let's hit high and down the ground. Hooks is underneath it. This will be out. He's got him. So David Hooks running around there from deep mid-on. Takes the catch in the outfield. And Lawson looks pretty happy as he runs down the ground. So 2 wickets to Lawson. 28 runs coming from him. A good catch.
David Hook stands. The Australians, as they leave the field, must be feeling very pleased with themselves in the finish, because New Zealand, with the great start they had, Australia must have been thinking there's 250 coming up there, but not to be.
Well, that's a complete disappointment for New Zealand to be out for 181. Even more of a disappointment is the fact that they used up only 44.5 overs. A tragedy that with Cairns. The bowler was Rackerman, 4 for 39, best both in wickets and in the way he bowled. I thought he was in great form today, obviously recovered from his injury. Lawson, 2 for 28, Thompson, 1 to Vessels.
The edge going through about third slip, but it's going to beat Chatfield into the fence and the first boundary in the Australian innings.
Should be 2 there. Chatfield has to come around. Looks onto the practice pitches, a very fast area. That did race away once it got onto that very closely mown area there where the player... That's a better shot from John Dyson. Racing away to the cover boundary.
Outside the circle.
Great stroke that. Lance Cairns has been tying Kepler Wessels down on leg stump, as indeed has every other bowler. But you just do not give him that one wide of the off stump unless you...
Listen to the ball by Snedden again.
The shot starting to flow now, Kepler Wessels, but only outside the off stump.
And that excellent off drive. These two seemingly bent on taking advantage of the loose ball served up by Snedden and Cairns.
And that'll be 4 as well. Could be right at the bottom of the bat, or it could be off the heel. In fact, it's off the heel. And the score really racing along now. Snedden to Wessels. And beaten the field again. Well, whatever pre-match plans New Zealand may have laid at their team meeting last night, they're certainly not bowling to them at the moment. They started off doing it perfectly with Hadley bowling superbly to Kepler Wessels.
New Zealand captain has gone pretty defensive now. It is Jeff. Now slips. And you can't bowl there. You can't bowl there to this fella. Wessels, no way. Leg and middle's the only place to tie him down. You bowl somewhere around about that off stump, and it's...
Cairns to Wessels.
That's a great shot, Kepler Wessels off the back foot. Found the gap, races out to the point boundary. That's a glorious shot. Great play over the loose ball was Kepler. It was just a fraction short. He was back quick when he found the gap.
Coney to John Dyson.
Coney bowling little in-swingers. That one's hit straight down the ground. Beautifully hit by Dyson. That'll be 6. Yes, just over the top and take it in the crowd. And a big hit from John Dyson.
Hadley to Wessels.
It's in the air, but there's no gully, and it's racing away down to third man. It's 4. Well, this outfield's very quick, and once that had got on its way down towards the boundary, there's no way it was going to be cut off, and that brings up the 100 for Australia.
And we've seen 2 good openings. Once it found its way through that vacant area, it ran away very quickly.
Wessels again drives straight through Edgar. He hit that one very hard. That happened to Border earlier on in the day, and it's gone for 4. That's a beautifully timed shot, that by Kepler Wessels, and that 4 brings up his half-century.
Kepler Wessels was all at sea early on in his innings, but the shot to bring up his 50 was probably the shot of his innings.
To John Dyson.
He's hit that over the top, straight down the ground. That's a beautiful shot by John Dyson. 3 bounces into the deep mid-on boundary.
1-6.
Hadley wouldn't have enjoyed that. And that 2 straight down the ground. The ball running away once again down to deep mid-on. Will it get cut off? No, it hasn't. So consecutive 4s there to Dyson off the bowling of Hadley. And the Australians loving it. That also brings up John Dyson's 50. And what a tidy knock it's been.
A very good double for the Australians. Firstly, Kepler Wessels
Now faces Chatfield.
Dyson going over the top, or attempting to go over the top. John Wright is underneath it and makes a real mess of it in the end. Had plenty of time to get there. It made a real nonsense of the job in the end. And Dyson was able to pick up 3 runs from that shot. Australia none for 123.
Snedden comes in now to a couple of Vessels.
Jeff Crow has a ping at the stumps, and that gets through. The fieldsman attempting to back up. That's John Morrison. And it results in 5 runs for Australia.
Coney to Vessels.
Magnificently placed shot, and that's been one of the highlights of Kepler Wessels' innings today. He's placed the ball beautifully through the offside.
Snedden comes in now to Kepler Vessels.
Once again, Kepler Wessels picking that gap in the offside field. It's been very strong there. That's his 11th boundary. Brings up the Australian 150. None for 152.
And he's done him. That's the spot. It's just like an action replay, Martin Snedden. After all this time, someone's got one through, I think, via...
Going on to the leg stump, but nonetheless, Vessels has made a valuable contribution to this Australian total, which stands at 1 for 154.
Snedden, and John Dyson is taking strike. That's a fine stroke, beautifully timed. Good flipper at that by John Dyson, and perfect timing. Coney to John Dyson. Richard Hadley. Great effort. That's the most difficult of all catches, and I think he just got his fingertips to it. To Greg Chappell. Chappell's gone. Only a handful of runs needed, and Greg Chappell goes. Caught and bowled Martin Snedden. Dyson is 71 not out. 182 is the target. Dyson takes strike now to Hadley. Beautiful stroke by Dyson. Hadley just strayed down round about leg stump there. It was a glorious shot. So Jeff Howarth is marshalling his forces now.
He's 2. Oh, he gets it away nicely off his tail. He's picked it up over square leg, racing out to the boundary. Egg gives chase, but that's a good shot. New to the crease, Kim Hughes picked it up beautifully. Hadley just straying leg stump. 43,000 people here at the Noble Cricket Ground today. Australia 1 run to win. Hadley the bowler. Going for it. Scampering through, and it's there. Victory by 8 wickets for Australia. A very good start for Kim Hughes, the new Australian captain. And that's a good effort by his team today. They were in trouble in the first hour. They hit back. A very good opening stand by Dyson and Vessels. John Dyson carrying his bat. The first wicket fell at 154. The wicket of Vessels for 79. Chappell fell at 168 for 3. And then they carried on the victory, and the captain congratulating John Dyson for a fine knock.
And Edgar. 54 and 38 to those two players. And that was a splendid performance that had 84 on the board in only 16 overs. And it looked as though they might run. And Lawson 2 for 28, and Greg Chappell 1 for 22 from a full 10 overs. And then New Zealand, then Australia rather, needed just 182 to win. They made it in the 47th over. Tony Greig is ready down in the presentation area now with the 2 skippers and... Australia go into the match with Dyson, Vessels, Chappell, Hughes, Hooks, Border, Marsh, Lawson, Thompson, Hogg and Rackerman, with Yardley 12th man, the same side as the one defeating. They've brought Trevor Jesty into the side, and they're playing those 2 off-spinners mentioned earlier, Jeff Miller and Vic Marks, and they have Cowans and Willis and Ian Botham to do the...
Oops, wow, there you go, he threw that up. He went for the off drive, got inside edge, and it raced away to the boundary. End of the over, no wicket for 11.
Swinging it away. Without doing him a lot of good. And he's bowled in. That's the one. That ball swung to, and Kepler Wessels' stumps are lying scattered on the ground. A big breakthrough that for England, and a breakthrough affected by the outswinger bowled by
delivery. So that's Australia's first wicket down, 1 for 26.
Botham to Greg Chappell.
It's in the air, it's going up in the air, this has got to be out. He's gone, the bouncer's got Chappell again. That one skied high up in the air, and Marks makes his first contribution in major matches in Australia.
That's the wicket that...
To Hughes.
That's out, he's caught behind, so Jesty has had a magic strike, and have a look at his face. Well, a couple of wides down the offside, a wide ball down the leg side.
Reaching for it and finding the edge, and what a start there for Trevor Jesty. He's absolutely delighted, over the moon. 2 wides, 1 down the leg side, and then the wicket, the prized wicket of Kim Hughes. Australia now 36 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Ian Botham comes in now. David Hooks is taking strike. Just short of the rope, and it didn't seem to me to be all that much offline. It pitched round about leg stump. Hooks got it away very strong. 3 for 43. 31 to Dyson. Here's Vic Marks. And he's done him with that Yorker. That's very well bowled by Vic Marks. He had David Hooks in trouble right after the first over when he bowled a couple of full tosses. Trevor Jesty comes in now from the Randwick end, bowling to Dyson.
Fine shot there from John Dyson. Half volley as Jesty keeps the ball up there trying to swing it. That was magnificently hit, that off drive. And Border decides to go over the top. A very good shot it is too. Wide of Jeff Miller, bouncing just inside the boundary rope. Timing the ball very nicely with that.
Responsibility of his tack. Miller.
He's got him out. That wasn't a good shot by Alan Border, just as Keith Stackpole was suggesting. The spin may not be the answer. That was a foolish shot, one of the very few from Alan Border. He charged, it was short of the length. He tried to
Took his eye off it momentarily and suffered the fate of being bowled. So Border out for 22, and Australia now 5 for 118.
He's out, he's gone. Caught a backward square, trying to loft over the infield. Straight to Randall with backward square leg, and Marks has struck again for England. A strange shot from John Dyson, who was playing so well. Tried to clear the infield.
Short of the 50, and Australia now 6 for 124.
Jeff Miller bowls to Rodney Marsh.
It's in the air, that's not a good shot. Bobby Towers coming from behind the stumps, and he doesn't make any mistake, and I can't work that out. A man who's played 90 test matches, this is the 38th over, and that needs some explaining. Not really keeping their head down.
And now Australia 7 for 132.
Botham to Lawson.
Stick, I think, Botham back in the attack. Good shot. Lawson driving down the ground. It's a little uppish. Botham threw his hand out. But that one raced away down the ground for 4.
Jeff Miller to Thompson.
He's bowled him. Thompson hitting across the line, and he's comprehensively bowled by Jeff Miller, and that is a big blow to Australia. And Australia 8 for 158.
Botham to Lawson.
You don't have to bowl down the leg side to contain. That's far better. I know it's gone over the top, but a better chance of getting him out if you bowl somewhere around a length on the off and middle. Not a very good over from Ian Botham. 10 runs came off that over.
Well played.
Nice and delicately tucked around the leg side. Hogg come on, he's misfielded it. Taburet has misfielded a very straightforward rolling ball, and it's gone over the boundary.
This is when the gave 3 away, and this Taburet, the man who has to face the wrath of that crowd behind him.
In the air, and he's got it. What more? Well, that was very, very well caught. Norman Cowans, in his follow-through there, certainly had to stop in his tracks and get back very quickly. Sure, he juggled it once or twice.
So it's now 9 for 175.
Australia 9 for 175. Lawson on strike has 28, and the field pretty scattered. He's hit that and hit that beautifully. Racing away down to the deep extra cover boundary. Taburet won't cut it off. What a beautiful shot by Jeff Lawson. Well, he wouldn't have played a better cover drive in that one.
33 very, very valuable runs coming from the bat of Jeff Lawson, but it's Rackerman facing. And
hook, line and sinker. Rackerman clean bowled by Bob Willis, and that's the end of the Australian innings. Well, all Bob Willis did there was run up and bowl it dead straight. It seemed to me that Rackerman
out for 180 and Rackerman out for naught. I think what
Jeff Thompson to David Gower. Bit of swing for Jeff Thompson, and David Gower has hit it straight to David Hooks, and a wry smile there from Jeff Thompson. It might have just been a slower delivery. Either that or a real loosener up from Jeff Thompson. Whatever it was, Australia have got the breakthrough they needed. Thompson from the Randwick end to Lamb. And that's got to be a wide. And it'll be 4 of them.
just a viewer in the crowd, Elton John.
More outswing, and this has got around the wicket as Taburet lofts away into the covers. And quite a simple catch there for Alan Border. So eventually that outswing has paid off for Carl Rackerman. Australia get their second wicket with the score of 4.
Australia, another wicket to Carl Rackerman, 4 in Melbourne, another one here, and England 2 for 44.
Bowling, second crop, walking into it, Randall, and Rackerman strikes again. A vital wicket for Australia. The shuffling Randall was bowled clean as a whistle by Rackerman and Ratner.
And, Randall out for 2 for 5, sorry. And England now 3 for 53.
They're the English bowling figures.
Bob Taylor would be hoping that he was not needed this evening.
Well, bowled it. That's a big breakthrough for Australia. Ian Botham, clean bowled by Carl Rackerman. Well, he certainly did him then. Botham on the back foot, trying to force the ball through the offside. Got one that seemed to nip back just a little bit.
Because Ian Botham was starting to look a little bit dangerous. It's now 4 for 95.
Chappell comes in now, and Lamb is taking strike. And there's a beautiful stroke by Alan Lamb. Magnificent piece of timing, that. Chappell had no chance even to bend down to make the effort to save. And England go past the 100 mark. Thompson to Jesty. In the air. Well, out there, Thompson won't believe it. No one will believe it. John Dyson.
Well, and a good delivery from Jeff Thompson. Alan Lamb giving himself a bit of room, attempting to cut. And so 49 is still... Inside edge from Miller. There's a mix-up, and there's going to be a run out at the bowler's end. David Hooks with a good piece of fielding there. And Trevor Jesty took off for the run. Jeff Miller didn't respond. And that's just the breakthrough that Australia needed to follow on.
Facing Rodney Hogg.
That's a good delivery, and it's gone to second slip, and it's gone down. That was the man that Rodney Hogg asked for. The second slip, Kepler Wessels. Well bowled, Rodney Hogg. That's got to be close. Al Johnson has adjudged him LBW. That was always going to be very close. And there's a reward for bowling straight for Rodney Hogg.
7 for 135. Like this.
Chappell bowls now to Bob Taylor.
It's close, got to be close. Yes, he's out. Taylor trying to hit across the line of that from Greg Chappell on the stumps. There wasn't much doubt about that one, and tremendous relief from the Australian vice-captain. The crowd's gone mad. Can Australia pull off this miraculous victory of 180 runs?
French having a good look in the end of Bob Taylor, and England 8 for 142.
Chappell to Willis.
Bob Willis. He's gone first ball. Chappell on a hat-trick. The outswinger, big Bob Willis, 6'6", bent forward, got an edge straight through to Rodney Marsh, and England 9 for 142. Pandemonium at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 42,000 fans shouting themselves hoarse. And what a bowling performance by the Australian team.
And Greg Chappell, the forlorn England captain, makes his way to the dressing room, out first ball without scoring.
And Bob Willis must be wondering what he has to do to win a match. Captain the side superbly today. Australia all out for 180. Two vital wickets. It's Greg Chappell and Norman Cowans, young hero of the Melbourne Test. He's bowling! That's it, Chappell the hero. England all out for 149 and a great spell in the 11th hour by the Australian vice-captain. You think they're a happy team? As well they might be. They've bowled England out for 149. A very happy Australian vice-captain, a delirious 42,000 spectators, and that's a great victory. They were never in this match until their bowl was bowled a great line of length. Hogg, Mawson, Rackerman, Thompson and Chappell. Victory by 31 runs to the Australian team, and if ever they earned one, they earned this one at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Their batsmen were ordinary, their bowlers were absolutely magnificent.
And also their fieldsmen, Bill. Tremendous effort by the Australians. Looked so it was a foregone conclusion halfway through the England innings, but what a great fight back. Not one of the 42,000 people has left this Sydney Cricket Ground, and the crowd absolutely erupted with that final wicket.
Well, who would have thought that could happen? 149 all out in 41.1 overs, and yet midway through that innings, I thought England was skating it in when Alan Lamb and Ian Botham were together. They were just reward for some extremely good bowling. Rackerman, player of the match, 3 for 28 from 8 overs and 1 maiden. And Thompson Lawson, who were very much astray early on and bowled.
Accurate beginning this by both Willis and Cowans, both of whom seem to me to be a little bit below top pace. They're not really pulling out all the stops, concentrating essentially on accuracy.
There's an appeal there from Norman Cowans. That ball hitting Bruce Edgar just outside the line.
Bob Willis to John Wright.
That's a better line from Bob Willis, but it's going to cost him 4 runs for bowling that very good delivery.
Cowans now to John Wright.
There's the edge going to Jeff Miller at first slip, and that was reminiscent of the one that Tavares knocked up in the marvellous Test match here at Melbourne, and Jeff Miller came round the back to catch.
Cowans now to John Wright.
Goes for wicket. What a good shot from John Wright. That was a quick delivery from Cowans, and he was quickly into position. Showed last match he's a good hooker, a good puller of the ball. This time he hits it beautifully off the back foot through cover. Not an easy shot. Placed it, beat Randall. A long run out there. They look for 4, they're back for 3. They're coming on Randall's arm, and they run 4. We'll probably see a 5 today. That's a very wide boundary out there.
Willis to Edgar.
Oh, just short of Miller at slip, and Bob Willis put his hands on his knees. Well, he might. They've bowled very well this morning. Wright's been dropped. First slip off Cowans, and that time not quite carrying, I don't think.
To Edgar.
Oh, that's wide of Miller this time. That's 4. No luck at all for the Englishmen this morning. They've bowled very well. luck running with the New Zealanders as they raced to 41 without loss. Good bowling by Cowans, found the outside edge. He's picked that up beautifully, a long boundary, and John Wright, my word, he's hard to bowl to, this man in form. The first delivery from Trevor Jesty was somewhere around about leg stump, but he whipped it over a mid-wicket. Beautiful shot in any type of cricket. Good shot, my word, he's a good player. He's going to be a key man in this series, John Wright. He puts that loose ball away, that's the over, no wicket for 49. Fascinating about him. That's through the second slip again. They haven't got any luck at all today, England. 50 stand, they're playing very well. But it's 4 more, it was an edge. That's the way you can play in a one-day game. Willis opting for the slip.
To Edgar. Greg Randall. Safe pair of hands out there. And the first wicket goes down. So Randall's not the man to whom you should give a chance. The others have put them down.
The stand just 3 runs beyond that to 87. 1 for 87. Great triumvirate of friends, and now 2 of them on the opposite side to right. Who faces up?
Here's trouble. Yes, a good piece of fielding that. And John Wright, the man run out.
Right on the back foot. A little bit sluggish to get off the mark. That virtually went straight to Vic Marks, and it wasn't Wright's call there, let's add. It was Cairns' call, and as you can see, Wright is at least 1.5 foot short of his crease, making a despairing dive to get in, as that good return from Marks comes right over the stumps. Miller takes the bails off. Wright is out for 55, 2 for 100.
Vic Marks bowling off spin to Lance Cairns.
Well, the intentions of Lance Cairns were pretty obvious there. He went for that enormous heave on the leg side. He missed it. Well, in fact, he must have hit it.
Oh, he's hit that many a mile over the fence. That's a very big hit. It's the shorter side of the ground, but it's still a big hit.
That was the come-over shot.
And there's no man down there.
Miller is not amused. New Zealand supporters are.
Vic Marks bowling off spin to Lance Cairns.
And that's another 6. Exactly the same place as the previous hit off Marks. Perhaps not as far, but a lot higher. And that really had snow on when it came down. It was...
To Cairns. It's a good shot. He's a dangerous player, Lance Cairns. And I think Willis might have to change his tactics. I think it might have to be pace, Botham to Cairns.
That's the way he hits, and getting underneath it and taking the catch very safely is Jeff Miller. Didn't handle him so well at first slip, but he handled that one on the...
England, who was beginning to look pretty dangerous, was Mr. Cairns, 3 for 137.
Ian Botham to Jeff Howarth.
And that's a fine shot there from Jeffrey Howarth. Hitting straight down the ground. The fieldsman up. There's a nice gap there. That brings up the 150 for New Zealand.
Miller to Howarth.
Jeffrey Howarth goes over the top on this occasion. One bounce and into the sight board for 4.
Ian Botham to Jeff Howarth.
Jeff Howarth attempting to go over mid-off again, but Bob Willis is a big tall man to clear. 6'4" or 5 of him, and he couldn't quite get over the top.
The end of New Zealand's captain, Jeff Howarth, out for 13. It's 4 for 164.
Now that we're into these last 9 overs, we have to try and push it along a little bit. He certainly showed that he can place the ball today. Picked up most of those 26 runs with very good placement.
Morrison goes for the big hit and finds the gap at long on, and that's what Glenn Turner needs, and support from the other batsmen. I'm sure that if Turner can work the singles and the twos, that Hadley, Sned and Chatfield Lees.
To Turner.
Big hit by Turner, good shot. Picked it up and 2 bounces, 3 bounces into the fence. The New Zealanders playing very sensibly, controlled hitting by these two, Morrison and Turner. Real problems for England.
Ian Botham to John Morrison.
Tempted bouncer, it's out, off the glass, is it? They asked the question. Umpire Martin says no. Ian Botham. Look at disbelief. Top decision by Umpire Martin. And that's out, so it didn't last much longer. Straight to Randall cover. Ian Botham has a word, I don't know why. But Morrison departs.
So John Morrison out, caught Randall Bowl Botham for 11 and 5 for 188.
Cowans to Richard Hadlee.
Hadlee goes for the big hit. My word, he's a good cricketer, this man. A massive hit, 1 bounce over long on, hit it as straight as a die. Picked up Norman Cowans as clean as a whistle, and the crowd love it. A very cold day in Melbourne.
Botham to Turner.
This time he goes over the top, he gets away with it. Very long boundary square of the wicket, some 90 metres. They're through for 2. They're coming back for 3. They're looking for 4. And they're going. It'll be very close if the throw is good, but it's not a good relay throw. Bad fielding by the Englishman. You must relay the throw on the Melbourne cricket ground. You can't possibly make the distance. It was Jesty. Over competition. The bowling tried to hit the full pitch through the covers. Maybe got an inside edge. And Turner's out for well-made 38.
Turner, a very good innings from him. Finds himself on the way back to Pavilion, out for 38, and New Zealand now 6 for 205.
It's a lot of runs, Tony, that's for sure.
Oh, he's hit that. That's gone miles down the ground. Beautiful 6 there. Oh, 25 rows back into the crowd. That one certainly came off the middle of the bat. A quick ball pitched just short of a length on leg stump. And
Coaching annual.
slow one by Willison. Very nicely played there by Hadlee. Off the back foot, he steered that one through the offside field for 4. It's not easy when the bowler comes up and changes his pace, and Hadlee was moving backwards. It certainly adjusted his shot beautifully then.
In fact, there's a lot of signals about here. If they look to take him.
Set that high, going way down towards Botham. Will he catch it? He will. He's out. Hadlee caught by Botham at deep mid-wicket. That is a pretty good catch. The ball was in the air a long time, and Botham had to go back quite a long way on that.
It's 7 for 231.
Norman Cowans to Lees.
The last ball now of the New Zealand innings. Played away on the onside and into the gap, and they'll probably get 2. They might try for the 3rd, and it doesn't matter whether there's a run out. There will be. Yes, he's out, run out, so 2 there off that last ball. Lees out, run out.
Hadlee to Tavares. And Tavares got that away. That's a good shot. Beat fine leg into the boundary. Richard Hadlee to Gower. And that's 4 more. No second slip there, so Hadley's expensive in this first over. Hadlee to Tavares. Must be out if it's taken. Yes, it is. Dear me. But Tavares has run out. Not very good trick at that. Although it's been the case that
David Gower. So Chris Tavares run out for 16 and England 1 for 42. Straight down the ground, Alan Lamb. Good way to get off the mark. Been struggling a little in the last over since he came to the crease. Like John Dyson, he likes to drive the ball straight.
Short, and he pulls that away. Misfielded down at deep fine leg. Dived over the ball, and another boundary, a vital one for England. A good over that by Lamb. 1 for 65.
Jeremy Coney bowls now to Gower.
Bad ball, and he puts it away. Sweeps it beautifully away down to backward square leg. That's 4 runs, and it's a class shot from David Gower. The end of the over, 1 for 73. The last 3 overs have conceded 24 runs, so problems for Howarth as Jeremy Coney comes into Alan Lamb. Oh, that's out! Good piece of work down the leg side, Warren Lees. A beautiful leg side stumping. Intelligent cricket in the final stage of this match. What a stumping. Lack of concentration from Alan Lamb. He was on the walk and he had those bails off in a flash.
This is something here that Warren Lee's beautiful piece of work, as Bill Lowry says. Alan Lamb looking at the umpire, but there's no use looking there, Alan boy. That was a beautiful piece of stumping. 2 for 8.
It's Coney now bowling to Jesty.
It's in the air, he's out. That's the end of Jesty, driving down the ground, hitting the ball straight to right with extra cover. And that's a big breakthrough for the New Zealanders.
And Jesty is out for 5.
A fair few singles have been scored by Gower in that area.
It's a short ball and smashed away square of the wicket. And there's one thing for sure, you don't bowl them short to him, especially if you're a medium pacer.
Yes, that's a bad delivery from Jeremy Coney.
Jeremy Coney to Ian Botham.
Well, that's hit away square, and it's going to be forward outfield very fast down there. The ball racing away down to the deep square leg boundary. And it only needs one of those and over. 3 for 105.
Hadley to Gower.
Well, that's well played. Beautiful shot by David Gower. Once again, the short ball being punished very severely by him. Pulling it away down to the deep mid-wicket boundary.
Cairns to Gower. And he's put him down, and that could be terribly costly for New Zealand. Tragedy there, because had they picked up...
It was travelling.
In the air from Botham, and that's a good shot. So the batsmen are counting the overs. Cairns has been expensive today. And in this over has had no... Over the top. 6 to Botham. And this is a tragic over for New Zealand. A drop chance, a 4 and a 6.
12 off the over. As Botham skies that.
We need to Gower. That's a better shot. Straight into the side screen.
A lot of right hand in that.
It's just 1 or 2 wild strokes from Ian Botham, but the rest of the time he's played very well, sensibly, and with great strength and power. That didn't go very high at all. I suspect it was probably picked up off middle and leg stump.
Gower lofting over mid-on to bring up his century. Going back for the 3rd. That takes David Gower to 101 and a well-deserved century.
And the crowd standing up and applauding the innings of David Gower, as is Ian Botham. And Ian Botham would fully realise how important this is from an England point of view. David Gower elevated up into the opening position right from the very first ball today, middled everything. And tremendous strike rate for David Gower, off only 108 balls in 160 minutes. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, didn't have a lot of the strike early. Being very strong on the leg side today, David Gower. We see there diagram of his scoring shots. Been very severe on anything short. A couple of boundaries coming from the pull shot. Straight drive, sneak through slips, and 1 behind point.
Ian Botham facing Martin Snedden.
Botham loft straight down the ground. Ewan Chatfield coming around, and a very good catch there by Ewan Chatfield. Had a lot of ground. And I think a rather relieved Ewan Chatfield.
Well, this game's really a very good catch, and the game now really alive with England 4 for 190. Economical overs.
And Randall lofting straight, and Martin Snedden moving in and taking the catch. And that really wasn't very smart batting by Derek Randall.
Well, so far in that short innings we saw David Gower. Now the tail starts to come in, 5 for 205.
Chatfield to Miller.
He's out, he's gone, straight to mid-wicket. The final delivery for Ewan Chatfield went straight to mid-wicket, took a straightforward catch. Glenn Turner.
And it's 6 for 221.
David Gower's taking strike. Here's Richard Hadley.
He's gone, straight to mid-wicket, he's hauled out. What a finish. Glenn Turner again, and the game's very much alive and the pro-New Zealand crowd roars. Fred Truman can't believe it all of a sudden.
Now the England side think they're in the chance. It's all boiling up. It's 7 for 223.
Only 3 balls remaining. Martin Snedden to Vic Marks. It's hitting on the thigh, they're scrambling through. Bobby Taylor's made it. 2 balls remaining. Two balls remaining. He's bowled it well, they're through for 1 only. Dear, oh dear. They must get 3 off the last ball, and it looks like a New Zealand victory. England not good enough to hit it in the final. Vic Marks is the batsman, the final delivery of this great match. He's bowled in victory for New Zealand, and England go down in that cliffhanger. The New crowd goes absolutely mad. Great over from Martin Snedden, of course, and the skipper. 2 runs victory for New Zealand, and what a finish. Once Gower went, England were always struggling, and 4 points for young Martin Snedden. That was an over under tremendous pressure. He kept it at the stumps, he kept it tight, and New Zealand scrape home by 2 runs for Truman.
Yes, they've done it by 2 runs.
That's a great effort from the New Zealanders there to give them 2 points in that Benson Hedges World Series Cup table. Australia, after their 2 victories, 4 points. New Zealand 2, and England to Gould.
It's been a shot, gets that in the middle. Races out to the square leg boundary. They're not going to make it. And that's encouragement for Ian Gould. Well played. First boundary of the morning. This is the 8th over. Just what England needed.
Troop now to Ian Gould.
Gone! Well caught, Jeff Howard. Clipped it off his toes. That backward square leg position, and the New Zealand skipper made no mistake. Both hands, the breakthrough by Gary Troop, the available wicket of Ian Gould.
And the field's been Ian Gould, 1 for 26.
Troop to Gower.
David Gower in tremendous form. That ball wasn't all that short, and he absolutely whacked it away past square leg. Played a couple of beautiful shots like that the other day off of Richard Hadley.
Snedden to Tavares.
Well, and that's a good delivery from Martin Snedden, but it's going to cost him 4 runs. The inside edge from Chris Tavares. 2 boundaries in that over, and England advanced to 41.
Troop to Gower.
There's the short one again, and very quickly into position. David Gower really has seen that ball well. 8 runs from just 2 boundaries. There's the edge, and it just beats first slip, and the 3rd boundary there for David Gower. That brings up the England 50.
Troop to Gower. Safely through, 4 runs. Nicely placed.
It was slightly upish, it was in the air, but safely between cover and extra cover, and hit with tremendous.
Good shot again. Beautifully timed around the onside. Not a bad ball, but delightful cricket that by David Gower to take the score on to 1 for 73. No more than 5 men outside the circle from now on. Circle there is 30 yards radius from the stumps. Beautiful stroke. Cairns looks a bit disgusted at that, but that was a very, very good shot. Curling in from outside the leg stump. Perfectly timed. Jeremy Kearney now to David Gower. Oh, that'll go as wide, I suspect. Yes, indeed.
I was just going to say the man down on the fence was for the delivery that Kearney's going to put on.
It's beautifully timed. That's expensive for Jeremy Kearney to David Gower, not able to get his line right. The right and left-hander combination, upsetting the New Zealand bowler. Cairns to Tavare. And what a good ball from Lance Cairns. Quite a bit of movement in the air for both these bowlers, Kearney and Cairns, and he slipped that one through Tavare's defences. Kearney to Lamb. Nicely placed. There are 2 men out in the boundary on the offside, but that's going to beat the one at extra cover. Short boundaries here in Brisbane, but a fine shot that from Alan Lamb. 2 for 108. Hadley to Alan Lamb.
He's gone. That's a beautiful catch. Flicked up on the leg side there. Alan Lamb caught by Cairns at backward square leg. And that's a big wicket for New Zealand. Notice the flick shot there in the air. And a beautiful catch coming forward and to his left.
Great catch that by Lance Cairns, and a good bowling change by Howarth, the skipper. That's England's 3rd wicket down. They're now 3 for 114.
Hadley to Botham.
But what a
Well
beautiful
bowled.
delivery.
Hits the outside edge there and straight through to the keeper. That was a beautiful delivery by Hadley. A little smile on the face of...
Great. And another one. Not quite as well directed as the one before, but he was still the ball up and seeing it swing.
Oh, he beats him again. It certainly is good bowling. Both of them having a little look down the wicket. He can swing it too, of course, and
Leaves the wicket. And to such an extent that they've got another slip in, and Richard Hadley advising Ian Botham how to play it.
That's through the keeper. Big appeal there before behind. He's getting that. A little glove there. Well bowled, Richard Hadley. Well, that's a beautiful over from him. He beat the outside edge twice, brought in a second slip, used the old 3-card trick.
That's England's 4th wicket gone down now.
4 overs for 5 runs. David Gower goes over the top of mid-wicket. Doesn't quite get it in the middle of the bat, but it's only a short boundary out there.
Chatfield to Gower.
Oh, that's a good shot from Gower. Lofting that away, and it lands on the greyhound track for a 6. That's the first 6 for David Gower and England in this innings.
Well, he's been looking to cut loose.
Chatfield to Randall.
Gone for the big hit, it's up in the air. Gary Tripp's going back, and he's dropped it. Well, he took his time getting back. Gary Tripp, he's a big man. Got his hands to it and put it down. 2 to Randall. Gower on 81. There's 4 runs. He's taken a chance. He's giving himself some room through the vacant slip cordon. Rarely do you see David Gower trying to charge. 4 more to David Gower.
Martin Snedden to Gower.
It's a good shot. David Gower is in superb form. 4 more. He moves on to 90, and England have struggled this summer, but this man has really made his mark in the Australian. Man of the match in the Melbourne game with 120 odd, and today, of only 81 deliveries, has reached 90. He goes again. He gets the fine slip. A 4. Intentional shot. He's done it twice. He races to 94.
there's no slip in there for Gower.
He's gone a big straight hit. Man down in it, clears him. It's 4 more, and David Gower's on fire. Tearing the New Zealand attack apart. Tremendous stuff. A big crowd here at the Gabba. Really enjoying this onslaught.
Troop to Gower.
Men out in the deep. Will he drop in the short one? He doesn't. He glides up down the third man. Well played, David Gower. Tremendous ovation, a standing ovation from the crowd here at the Gabba. And he's enjoying it too. A run almost every ball. Having a tremendous summer. Test century, 2 World Series Cup hundreds. An applause from everybody who loves cricket. A tremendous performance by this young player.
Yes, what a valuable innings for England. And I detected just a hint of envy there in the voice of Bill Lawry, seeing a left-hander out there on the one hand and a left-hander who can play shots all around the ground.
Yes, he's just got natural talent. I think anybody could be envious of a man of his ability, some 25 years of age.
David Gower takes strike now to Richard Hadley.
Oh, 6 big hits. That's over the fence at deep fine leg. 100 stand between Randall and Gower, brought up in magnificent fashion. David Gower having a superb summer. A short, got under it, whipped it over along on. Deep fine leg for 6.
It's a lovely shot there.
Snedden to Randall. That's very well hit by Randall. Snedden saw him coming and tried to spear the ball in short at leg stump. Richard Hadley delivery. You might not see anything like it again. And a deep point will allow only the single there. Oh, in trouble here. Have you ever seen anything like it? What on earth is Randall doing? Now, what on earth could be the thinking behind that? Come along, Frank. You can tell me that.
The ways of men are very strong. Goes through the routine of knocking the bails off. Watch this. Randall's off. There's a single there. Gower's happy with that. Randall comes back. He's not even looking at Gower. Now he's looking at Gower. Now it's too late. A spring in his step as he departs for the pavilion. He's surrendered. Run out.
Martin Snedden to Gower. Safely away over the top. Very good shot from David Gower. Towards the end of the innings. So unorthodox batting will be seen, but that was very well placed. Very well thought out by Gower. 48 overs gone. And 50 overs the maximum. 2 overs to go. 1 for Hadley and 1, I suspect, for Snedden. Though he's got 9 overs for 67 now. 6. Great hit. Oh, a long way back into the Sir Leslie Wilson stand. Magnificently picked up. And that's equally good a stroke. 6 more. Glorious shot. 2 sixes off Hadley in this over. And Hadley's trying to keep him quiet by keeping the ball away from off stump where Gower's so strong. The answer has been to in the air. Chatfield is the man coming round. 2 of them going for it. Chatfield should have been the one to go. He was going towards the ball. And the other man, Rusedko, was going away from it, having to take it over his shoulder. And Gower has picked up 2 to go to 154.
And he did not make a very good job of it.
Beautiful stroke again. The fence on the full. It's in the air and it's going to be taken. Very well caught by Jeff Crow. The end of the innings, 267, the highest innings total by England in the history of the Spencer and Hedges World Series Cup. Gower out at the last ball of the innings. A magnificent performance from him.
What more can you say? He came in today at number 3 for England. Chris Tavares was Ian Gould was the first batsman to go. Gower came in at 10:30 Brisbane time. And a standing ovation for the 25-year-old from Leicester.
Greg and Fred Truman.
Well, that's a good shot. Beautifully played.
White straight away latching onto that short delivery from Cowans and smashing it to the square leg boundary.
And ball short of this fella.
Bob Willis to right.
Well, that's a good shot too. Shortish ball there by Willis, smashed away to square leg again. That's the second hook shot that John Wright has played, and he's played them both very well.
Cowans to John Wright.
Well, that's a good shot too, right down the ground, running away down to the deep middle boundary. Bob Willis not bothering to chase that one. Nicely timed by John Wright. And it's no wicket for 22. Well played. Once again, the ball played through the mid-wicket area and running away down to the boundary. John Wright taking advantage of anything slightly shorter offline. No wicket for 32.
Once again, that ball going in the air on the onside, and a very good catch there by Derek Randall. John Wright most disappointed with himself. He also has been in very good.
He's out for 30, 1 for 43.
Willis to Bruce Edgar.
Good shot from Bruce Edgar. The ball wasn't all that short, and I think that's a sign of the confidence that the players have got in this wicket. It's been very predictable bounce here. New Zealand 1 for 51, chasing 267. Once again, that ball being swung away by Edgar. Two left-handers, Edgar and Wright, have been very severe on anything just short of a length.
Botham to Howarth.
They're straight back at Botham, and he's put it down. And he'll be very disappointed with that. Normally a very good catcher, but missing that opportunity. New Zealand 1 for 56. Howarth driving much more successfully on this occasion against Botham. Straight down the ground and into the boundary.
Well, Ian Botham might regret missing Jeff Howarth, because that was a superb on drive. Now England just applying the brakes slightly.
Whipped away on the onside. Another boundary there for Jeffrey Howarth. Well, he's made his intentions very clear.
For the batsman, really throwing the challenge down to them. He's got hold of that. There's a man out there, straight down his throat, and he's out. Not going to captaincy, 4 points to Bob Willis.
So, New Zealand captain back to the pavilion, 2 for 75.
Vic Marks to Bruce Edgar.
Edgar finds a gap. Good shot. Hitting with the spin. Picks up 4 valuable runs for New Zealand. Just a fraction short. Hit the marks, and Edgar was onto the back foot. Placed it nicely.
Get away with that.
Well, he's gone. Bang. Bounces into the fence. There's 3 men in the deep. He's cleared. The one at mid-wicket.
Ranging from Bob Willis in the foreground, and then moving around to 2 more men on the boundary.
That's his goal. That's a big hit. That's gone 40 metres over the TV tower. That's one of the biggest hits you've seen at the Gabba for a long time. And they love the big fella.
Oh yes, that one certainly stayed hit right over the top of the man.
Botham now to Bruce Edgar.
Botham asked a question, but that was missing leg stump.
Over the front of the popping crease. Very optimistic appeal this by Botham.
Well, he could be gone. Yes. Botham breaks through with the bouncer. Bruce Edgar tied down by spin, frustrated, fell to the bouncer. Vital wicket for England.
Back to the pavilion, 3 for 100.
23 overs. New Zealand 3 for 100. Round about the same score as England, though slightly in advance, the Englishmen. 2 for 108 at the comparative time. But they really got cracking with that innings from David Gower at 158. Lance Cairns now with this unusual bat. it's going to be for Ian Gould. It should be easy. And it is. Cairns gone. Vic Marks, the bowler. And the fourth wicket goes down for New Zealand. They have to keep chasing runs. And
End of Lance Cairns, the danger man. He's out for 12, 4 for 100. He's hit on that front pad.
And that's not well bowled by Jeff Miller, but it'll delight Jeremy Coney. Quicker ball round about leg stump. Coney was quickly in a position to play that stroke. And boundaries are needed by New Zealand now. Marks to Jeremy Coney. Well, I'm not too sure that that hit the stumps. It may well have. We'll just have a little look here now.
Very interesting appeal. Whether the bails were dislodged before the ball actually hit the off stump. A little drift there for him too.
That's very well done by Gould. And nicely bowled by Vic Marks. Good deception there. He tied Coney down, as indeed
5 for 121.
Botham to Glenn Turner.
Well, that's a good shot down the ground, over the top of good off, and what a good shot it is. Well, all Turner needs is a few vacant spaces in the outfield, and clearly he's going to go for it. Botham. That went over the top, in the air, could be out. Jesty's got him. That's the end of Glenn Turner. Caught a deep extra cover by Trevor Jesty, trying to hit that one over the top of extra cover, but there was a man down there. And
wicket that England wanted, Glenn Turner can be so dangerous. It's 6 for 148.
Botham to Webb.
Oh, that one's gone straight up in the air. Cowans is underneath it. I'm not too sure whether he's very safe. He is. He's got him, and Cowans very happy about that. He's thrown that one up miles. Well, just for a second there, it looks as if he'd...
7 for 150.
And Miller about to start his last over. 7 for 150. Hadley has one. Snedden on strike has yet to score. And New Zealand in all sorts of trouble. Hadley's running. This will be close. He might be out. He's gone. That's good fielding by Ian Botham. Well, he's certainly got himself back into the match. 3 for 22, his bowling figures, and that was a real good bit of work. Picked that up, had a shot.
Just is going to take off, but Ian Botham threw at the bowler's end and hit the stumps direct and left young Martin Snedden, I should think, about 2 to 3 feet short of his crease, and he'll be disappointed with that. 8 for 150 now.
Cowans to Troop.
Troop gets it over points head for 4 runs. 12,000 people here today, seeing New Zealand struggling against that large English total. It clears Randall at cover, races out towards the cover boundary. 4 more to Gary Troop. That's the over. 8 for 169. Well, there's a hit down the ground. It clears mid-on. Marks racing out for 4. So the tail's wagging. Gary Troop and Hadley fighting it out to the end.
Cowans to Hadley.
He's got a bounce up in the air. Clears the man at point. Races out to the boundary for 4 runs. So Cowans is still there. Cowans bouncing. Hadley drawing away, slashing high over point. 4 runs. 8 for 184.
And it looks as though Botham, with 7 overs to his credit already, will bowl out, together with Willis, the remainder of the New Zealand innings.
Oh, that's a big hit. Going out to long on. Marks is down there, coming around. He's getting under it. Over the fence for 6. Oh, Vic Marks. He tried valiantly to catch that.
Botham.
Oh, the bouncer to Hadley. He's played it beautifully. He's outsmarted Botham. He dropped in the bouncer. He drew away, he played it over the vacant slip corner for 4 runs. So New Zealand fighting. 8 for 198, 70 runs required. This is the 46th over. That's very close to wide, and it's called. Well called. Ian Botham's going off, but that's definitely a wide, Ian Botham. Words between Hadley and Botham, but no doubt in one's mind that was a wide delivery.
New Zealand 8 for 204. Gary Troop lofting away straight down the ground. And one bounce into the side screen. Hit the ball pretty well on occasions, Gary.
Didn't really matter. Very good hit.
Bouncer to Troop. He skied it very high and is just going to clear Jeff Miller running back from mid-wicket.
Richard Hadley's facing Botham.
And that's a high hit from Richard Hadley. Hasn't got hold of it at all. It's going to fall in between Norman Cowans and David Gower. It was a real miss hit, that one. They're chasing 268 for victory. Troop skies the ball high into the air. Ian Botham getting underneath it. And he's got a very good pair of hands. No trouble with that catch. And Gary Troop, after a very entertaining 39, is on his...
A very good innings. Troop out for 39, 9 for 213.
Backward point. Richard Hadley facing, and he's clean bowled. First ball that he gets in this over from Bob Willis. And so New Zealand are all out for 213. Bob Willis picking up the last 2 wickets. And more importantly, England picking up 2 points for a comfortable victory over New Zealand. 2 points that they really needed. Bruce Edgar scoring there with 40. Gary Troop on 39. John Wright again in good form with 30. So New Zealand out in the 49th over for 2. And that is how the points table looks now in the Benson and Hedges World Series Cup. Australia 2 victories for 4 points. 2 games played. New Zealand and England.
3 for 47, and Vic Marks, I thought, had an outstanding day once again. 3 for 30. He bowled very well in Sydney the other day. 10 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 30, and a vindication. Ian Gould faces Jeff Thompson.
That's into the gap. Nicely placed by Gould. Looking for the second, and it's... oh, it's going to be a run out. He's gone! Terrible mix up there between Cook and Gould is out, run out. Hogg, the fieldsman there, he did very well. Didn't get overexcited about that. Threw it straight over.
Their first wicket, it's 1 for 1.
Jeff Thompson, we're out supporting Australia. It's in the air, what a great catch! Beautifully taken by David Hooks. Down to his left, out went his hand, and that's the end of Jeff Cook. What a catch.
Catches don't come. They pick up that second wicket. England 2 for 10.
Lawson. Down the leg side. And that'll be 4. I'm not too sure whether there was any bat on it. No. Signalled leg byes down there by umpire McConnell.
Lawson to Gower.
Slow ball, and he's got it. Rod Marsh has dropped one down the leg side, and remember, that's where they've got David Gower.
Piece of bowling.
David Gower facing Thompson.
Short ball, it's in the air and over the top. That was a little lucky there for Gower. It's gone down to the boundary behind the wicketkeeper for 4. Good quick bouncer from Thompson. That's the end of the over, 2 for 27.
Carl Rackerman down in Hobart had some problems. He was swinging the ball around there, and
Straying the foot off line produces the wide.
that's a fine shot from David Gower. Rackerman over pitching. That ball just beats John Dyson into the fence.
As you can see, 6 wides already. The extras amounting to 11.
Gower picks that one up beautifully, and it hits the fence on the full. Magnificent shot from David Gower. Before he hit a couple of sixes like that yesterday. England 2 for 45.
The atmosphere here is positively electric. The crowd have really crammed into this ground. The ground bulging at the seams, really. All the tickets have been sold for about 2 weeks.
Gower.
Oh, and it's a good delivery from Rodney Hogg, and that's the wicket that Australia wanted. David Gower has been dropped, earlier in his innings, and just getting a little inside edge.
The drive off the back foot when he should have been forward. So that's a great blow for Australia with the dismissal of England's star batsman David Garr, 3 for 54.
Rodney Hogg clearly got the English batsman worried. Bowling with a lot of pace. Bowled beautifully in Sydney last Tuesday. Good line just outside that off stump.
This time Botham gets it. That's 4. That's the way he plays. That's the way he should play. He picked the right delivery on that occasion. In the slot, one of the rare half volleys from Rodney Hogg.
Rackerman to Ian Botham.
The shot. It's racing away towards the boundary. That's 4 runs. That's the over. 3 for 71. Thompson again. Thompson's gone. He fended at that short one. He got a touch. Didn't go after it. Marsh does the rest, and Thompson breaks through. A good change. A wicket Australia needed.
Partnership. Alan Lamb out for 19, and England crashed to 4 for 71.
Jeff Thompson to Botham. Safely away for 4. That was a delicate little chip from Ian Botham. Although it went in the air, it was quite safe. And nicely timed. Chappell to Derek Randall. That's the first one he's bowled out there. And Randall's been waiting for it. Chappell's managed to cramp him up until that delivery. Rodney Hogg to Ian Botham. And 4 runs. Rackerman was the fielder. Subbed off with a no ball, Rodney Hogg, and Botham took full advantage of it. To Randall. That's a beautiful stroke for 4 from Randall. A little bit of room there outside the off stump again, and he takes full advantage of it. 4 for 110 England in the 28th over. Greg Chappell to Botham.
That's a wide, and it's gone down to the boundary for 4 byes. Marsh struggling to get across there. He's right up at the stumps. Well bowled, and that Ian Botham didn't enjoy. Beat the bat and seemingly hit him in the groin.
Chappell to Derek Randall.
Well, it's a beautiful shot by Randall, way up in the air, over the extra cover boundary for 6. Well, you don't see many 6s hit in that direction. Derek Randall following through and hitting a beautiful 6 way over the top of extra cover.
4 for 123. And for Australia, Rackerman now being brought back into the attack. His figures, no wicket for 23 in 5. Lawson 1 for 6 in 5. He's been the most economical of the bowlers.
Well, that's over the top. There's a man down there. This won't be dropped. David Hooks is underneath it. He's out. Both them out. Caught by David Hooks. Down on the deep extra cover boundary. Both them trying to repeat the shot played by Randall, which went for 6. And that's a big wicket.
For Australia, England now 5 for 128.
He's had 11 balls and hasn't scored a run yet.
Outside off stump, he's got him out. So Jeff Desty out after facing 12 balls, caught by Marsh off the bowling of Rackerman for a duck.
Loss of England's 6th wicket. Trevor Desty out for naught. 6 for 138. With the gloves.
Oh, little mix-up there for a second, then, huge mix-up, and he's gone. Good thinking by Greg Chappell. There was easily a run there had they gone in the first instance, and have a look at the disappointment on the face of Jeff Miller.
So that's a wicket thrown away. That of Jeff Miller. It is now 7 for 143. But it's Lawson bowling now. Derek Randall finding the gap through there. I don't think even David Hooks can get at that. It's 4 runs. Beautiful shot.
Lawson to Derek Randall. That's a good delivery from Lawson. But there's no slips to take advantage of that edge. And Randall picks up 4 runs. and that brings up his 50. So far, Australia have to bowl. Oh, and a good delivery from Jeff Thompson, and that'll improve their situation as far as getting through the overs is concerned.
8 for 165.
Lawson to Randall.
But Derek Randall isn't. He's given himself a bit of room, and you can't get any more accurate than that. Middle stump right out of the ground with Jeff Lawson Yorker.
Piece of bowling again by Jeff Lawson. England now 9 for 178 and in all sorts of trouble.
Rackerman to Cowans.
Well, he's gone straight up in the air. Lawson with the safe pair of hands is coming in, and that's it for England. England all out for 182. Fine performance by the Australian bowlers. Hughes won the toss this morning and elected to bowl, and his bowlers have not let him down.
Side off stump, and Vessels forces away, and that one barely flies away down to a fine third-man position. The flags come out, the big cheer for 4 to Vessels.
Bob Willis to John Dyson.
Oh, good shot by Dyson. Beautifully placed. Slightly over-pitched there by Willis. Dyson playing a lovely cover drive.
Oh, Rackerman taking a well-earned drink. He's been in very good form in these limited over matches.
Yes, he certainly has. He's got 10 wickets for 84. He's taken 4 for 39, 3 for 17 and 3 for 28. So he's not only an economical bowler, he's one of the leading strike bowlers. One of the leading strike batsmen, Greg Chappell, next in.
Well, that's a good delivery there from Cowans, finding the edge. It beats both of them slip, and all it does is net Norman a bit of heartache.
Botham to Dyson.
Botham's giving Dyson plenty of opportunity outside the off stump. He likes the square cut.
Jesty bowls now to John Dyson.
That one's wide, and John Dyson just hitting through that cover drive and dropping it just inside the boundary fence at mid-off. That's a very good shot from Dyson.
Botham to Vessels.
And there's an appeal for a catch down leg side, and Kepler Vessels has been given out. Had his back to the umpire. But,
Vessels hit it with the back of his bat, so was Botham. 1 for 41.
Botham to Greg Chappell.
Plenty of room outside off stump, and the Gabba crowd not being let down by their hero. He started off in very good fashion.
Good start. 49 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Brings up the 50 with a straight hit using his feet to Victor Marks. Not being tied down, John Dyson. 2 good strokes. First the sweep and then the on drive that was wafted straight.
Bowlers not swinging the ball anything like the Australians did when they were bowling. That's a good shot by John Dyson. Flicking that off his feet. Turn of the wrist through on the square-legged position and to the boundary like a little rocket.
On his feet. He goes to the big hit. There's a man down there. He's under it. Jeff Miller. He's looking at the side screen. And it's 4. Went over his head. Jeff Miller not all that confident there. Must have nearly got a hand to that. The man was straight. Has to clear the side screen completely. But changing the call to 6. So 6 to Greg Chappell.
Marks to John Dyson.
It's a good shot. It's just a fraction short, and John Dyson in good touch picked it up quickly and whipped that forward a square for 4 runs.
.23 off 25 balls is not bad in terms of his strike rate. Oh, that's a good shot. An inside-out shot, one bounce into the crowd on the boundary at point.
Botham to Dyson.
That swings in and he's out. Dyson has hit that one straight down the throat of Vic Marks, who's fielding it mid-on. Well, he tried to hit that one over his head and down towards the side screen and didn't middle it. It was an in-swinger.
Australia now 2 for 95. If you're going to be consistent, that's certainly a wide.
Botham to Chappell.
Oh, and Chappell's hit that in the air and he could be out. He's gone. Straight down Jesty's throat. Jesty fielding in a position at deep extra cover in that sweeping position we talked about earlier.
Now Australia 3 for 98.
And Botham on his way again, this time to hooks. Oh, and that one has got past Gould and it's racing away down to the boundary. I think that's probably leg buys. It is.
Marks to Border. Oh, good shot. Now, Stacky, we've seen Border play that shot. I won't say tons of times, but Norman Cowans to hooks. Oh, he's got that through. That's a glorious shot. Alan Border's coming down to say so.
Placed it beautifully. It really is difficult to understand the field placing out there. 3 men on the onside, all saving a single. No protection on the offside. The one that gets through those 3 close-in fellows.
Oh, he's done it again. 2 great shots, but that's not the place for Norman Cowans to bowl. And a good shot from Alan Border. Fine stroke that. Why he's bowling a bouncer.
And just not economical enough. He's probably right in that, and that's why he bowled his spinners.
David Hooks in tremendous form. Lofts that one bounce into the square leg fence. That was a great shot.
Well, I don't know what you can do about it. Very satisfactory for David Hooks.
In the same spot almost, and that one goes through the offside field. So David Hooks looking for an early finish to this game.
What a tremendous eye. In dramatic fashion.
6 boundaries to David Hooks. 2 of them in this over. There's an enormous hit. That one going out and it's just going to clear the boundary and lands on the dog track. So I think David Hooks quite keen to finish it off this over. And that one's over cover. That'll bounce just inside the boundary fence. And that brings up David Hooks 50. And it's really come with a rush the last few minutes.
Three to win. 1 ball to go. 18 off this over so far. $50 up in 55 deliveries.
And there we go. David Hooks lofting to mid-on, and he certainly has achieved his ambition of finishing it in this over. 22 runs coming from the last over as David Hooks crashes his way to 54 not out. Alan Border at the other end was 30 not out, and Bob Willis's figures taking a real hammering in that last over.
Certainly were. He bowled 6 overs for 9 runs, and then he conceded 22 runs in that last over at a time when he'd come on to bowl tightly. And that really was an eye-opener for Bob Willis to be treated in such cavalier fashion.
What a marvellous finish that was, with David Hooks playing every stroke imaginable there of Bob Willis to bring the game to a sudden conclusion. 41 overs only were needed. For that, Bob Willis, the captain, bowled only 7 overs, Cowans 9, Botham 8, and Jesty, well, he bowled only 1, and the most successful and the best bowler, Ian Botham, 3 for 29. St Hedges World Series Cup table now. Australia from 3 games have 6 points. New Zealand have played 3 and have 2 points. England have only 2 points, but the other 2 teams have a...
That's one swings a little bit, but nicely played by John Wright, right through the gap at mid-wicket. The ball rolling away down to the deep mid-wicket boundary. That's 4 and a good start. Good start for John Wright, not quite such a good start for the bowler Cowans. And Bob Willis and his men out there will be aware of the danger that Wright presents them. He is a very attacking player, very capable, and it might be worthwhile when he gets down on strike just comparing the way he goes about it by comparison with Kepler Wessels, the Australian opener, who's also a left-hander. 1 or 2 similarities. In the air, he's gone. That's a big wicket for England. John Wright out trying to pull Willis there, and Randall in position just in front of the umpire at square leg. Makes no mistake with the catch.
And good bowling by 9 and 1 for 14 New Zealand.
It is a vital match as far as he's concerned. And they'll take 4-leg byes there, I should think, because I've found the inside edge. Leg byes, in fact.
Howarth plays fairly straight, but so far that technique really hasn't been very fruitful. Just 2 runs off 7 deliveries.
Nicely done. That's a splendid catch there by Jeff Miller. Real reflex job, that one. And Howarth has gone. And that's a real blow for New Zealand. 2 down.
Exit with a single against his name. New Zealand at 2 for 20.
Edgar now facing Cowans. He can't stop that one. Not even Randall. Good shot from Bruce Edgar. Marks to Turner.
Marks giving him too much room once again outside off stump. Ball just floating away. On this occasion, Turner is able to pick the gap. Still plenty of flight there from Vic Marks, and that's a good shot. Edgar using his feet well, driving into the gap.
Straight. He's got another one through there. I think this will go for 4 as well. This will just beat Ian Botham to the boundary. That's another good shot from Bruce Edgar, and it brings up the 50 for New Zealand in the 18th over. Used to be a very good catcher close to the wicket, Bob Willis. Very good pair of hands. But nowadays, with his knee troubles, he finds out he can't keep bending up and down at slip or gully, so he feels it mid-off usually.
Turner thrashing away through the offside. That's his 2nd boundary in that area. Some bad bowling there from Jeff Miller as New Zealand move along to 62 after 20 overs. Maybe that leg problem that Glenn Turner has, putting a little bit of doubt in Bruce Edgar's mind about the quick singles. Edgar attempts to go over the top and does so with a well-timed shot. Didn't try and hit that too hard, just went for the placement and the timing.
Bruce Edgar now facing Miller.
Well, that's a big hit. Bruce Edgar heading long down the line, well over the fence, over the King G sign for 6. And Bruce Edgar, who's not a big hitter, took the chance and he got away with it.
That's the problem with the off-spinners in action, Bill.
Out, straight to Garrett mid-on. He chipped that one, didn't quite get to it. Vic Marks breakthrough for England.
How easily Glenn Turner's innings came to an end. Turner and New Zealand now 3 for 101.
New Zealand in their 2nd hour have almost doubled the runs they made in the 1st hour. It was 34. 70 scored in the 2nd hour, and that's an edge. A pretty thick edge, too thick to give England a chance of snapping up the catch behind, and it's gone scooting away down to a very fine 3rd man for 4.
Vic Marks bowling to Lance Cairns.
He's hit that one, it's in the air, it's going down towards Fowler. He'll catch him. No, he won't. He came in just a little bit too far down there, and that ball kept going, and bobbed over the top of his head, but not far enough over his head to go. He's made runs every time he's played in this competition. 38, 30, 40 and 32 he scores. It's in the air and a beautiful catch. Beautifully taken there at mid-wicket by David Gower, diving full length to his left. That was hit pretty firmly and only just off the ground. What a marvellous catch.
Cairns, the total is 118. Two off-spinners have done quite well after getting away to a bad start. Marks went for 14 off the first 2 overs and Miller 11 off his first 2 overs.
Swept away nicely, beats the fieldsman. There is Randall and another 4 to New Zealand. That is very well placed. Nicely hit away too, and behind Randall there's no one.
Warren Lee is now facing Miller.
It's in the air, straight down the ground. This is out. Oh, he's dropped him. Well, once again, England's catching in the outfield, letting them down. Tavares down there. Should have caught that one too.
He did almost 5 runs per over.
Botham comes back and immediately breaks through. Sneaked that one through past Lees. That makes things much more difficult now for...
He's dismissed for 10, 5 for 150.
We know in New Zealand that he scores prolifically in both 3-day and 1-day cricket. Not quite as attacking as his opening partner John Wright, but a very solid player. Hello, here's a mix-up, and Jeff Crow is run out, and that is unfortunate for New Zealand. English supporters on the hill happy with the breakthrough, but Jeff Crow run out by a mile. 6 for 169.
Edgar now facing Cowans. Nope, didn't move quickly enough, and down goes the chance. I think we'll find that it did carry, but Bob Willis... In the air, 2 of them going after it. This time it's Willis, quite safely. He takes it. Edgar the man out for 74. And they really needed this pair, Edgar and Hadley, to go on.
Total 7 for 176.
Sydney, goodish crowd, Fred.
Not a bad crowd at all to say that it's England and New Zealand playing, not the Australian side, but everybody sitting in the sunshine, enjoying themselves and watching some pretty good cricket from both sides.
Hold of that, it's straight down Miller's throat. He's caught it. Well caught it, Miller. Backward square leg, picking up the short delivery from Willis. Jeremy Kane, he pulled it straight to the revival.
8 for 195.
I don't think New Zealand have made enough to date, Fred. It's a good batting wicket, a fast outfield. The Englishmen have been brilliant in the field today. Really lifted their game. Oh, Willis. Hadley's got hold of that. Alan Lamb's down there, right on the boundary rope. He's under it. He's taking his time. He's caught it. Bob Willis strikes again for England. And Alan Lamb, as safe as the Bank of England, takes a great judge catch.
And that puts Bob Willis on a hat-trick. Australia are 9 for 195. Bob Willis looking for the hat-trick.
Ian Botham to Chatfield.
He's out, not in front, Botham. The full pitch by Dick Finch, having a good look at that. And England doing a fine job bowling New Zealand out in the 48th over.
That's the end of the New Zealand innings in the first ball of 48th over. 10 for 197. That's a good performance by the England boys. They'll be very, very happy about it.
Again, Tavares getting the ball square on the onside. This time it's Crow who has a long chase. Fowler coming back for a third. In the 6th over, and Fowler is still not off the mark. Fowler going in the air and very well caught by Peter Webb. Very good catch there. So Fowler has failed to get off the mark in his comeback match for England.
What an amazing... Chris Tavares back in the big... Graham Fowler back in the big time again, out without scoring. Now he's coming down.
Oh, and he's bowled him. A very good delivery that from Richard Hadley. So the left-handers out of luck tonight for England. Firstly,
in these last two innings against them, and once again our little friend appears. The same for Fowler as for Gower. And England 2 for 10.
That's the third man down there, but coming across to the other side, two men for the short ball. One quite square, which is that one, and the other one a fine leg in position, in the orthodox fine leg position. An outside off stump, cut away nicely. There's no one back on that boundary. And that brings up England's 50. A good positive square cut by Tavares, his first boundary.
Gets it away, as Fred Truman already pointed out during the over. If you bowl weak stump, you can work the ball. Picks up 4 valuable runs for England. 59 for 2. Well played, full toss. Racing out towards the mid-wicket boundary, and this Tavares all of a sudden coming wide for England. Moves on to 40. And 44, it's 88 for 2. England closing the gap. Good shot.
Pitch to him.
This time he goes through the offside. The Turtles on the move. Races to 44.
The Turtles on the move.
Hadley. Oh, he's picked it up, it's high and it's straight. Big hit, 4 runs. Lamb on to 49.
In 79 minutes. It's been an important partnership with Chris Tavares.
Oh, and he charge, he gives him the charge. Ian Chappell mentioned he was coming down the wicket to Chatfield. Chatfield bowled very tightly for 7 overs. 7 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 7, but Lamb's changed all that. 10 runs off the over today.
Going through the offside there, Tavares. Well-timed shot. And he just beat Jeff Howarth at mid-off.
.33 runs needed by England. Plenty of wickets in hand.
Boys hit that high and way down to square leg. That's 6. Well, a big cheer from the crowd as the man who's been nicknamed Tortoise Tavares smashes one to square leg for 6.
Well, we'll have to have a replay of that one too, Tony, because they hoisted over the top.
Hit that in the air too, down the ground, and a diving effort down there, but another 4 to Tavares. Right off the meat of the bat, down to square leg. It was uppish and good attempt down there by the fieldsman at square leg, but
that is a great hit. What a good innings that's been. Alan Lamb on driving there, a beautifully timed stroke to bring up his 100. Fine knock.
Well, for the third match in succession against England, the New Zealand bowlers have conceded a century to an England player. David Gower with 122 in Melbourne and 158 in Brisbane. And other night, Alan Lamb, 102 not out.
Beautiful stroke. It's
timing has been magnificent. Footwork has been good after that early 3-over spell where he was all at sea. He certainly made up for it now.
You wouldn't believe, Richie, that England at one stage were 2 for 10. Scoreboard taking a little time to catch up this barrage of shots from Alan Lamb. Scores are tied. And that's the win to England.
Well, it's gone for overthrows as well, but they don't need to worry, because Alan Lamb has seen England through to a great victory here. Tremendous performance by Bob Willis's side. They come back, they've beaten New Zealand now in successive matches. And that was a top-class innings.
We must also pay tribute, really, to the batting of Chris Tavares, who was there from the start. He saw 2 early wickets go. Jeff Howarth and Peter Webb can only congratulate the efforts of the 2 England batsmen as they walk off the SCG. A win by 8 wickets over New Zealand. As Chris Tavares, so much criticised over recent months, but acknowledging the warm applause from the members as he goes back to the England dressing room.
What a tremendous performance from England. 2 for 200 there, with Lamb 108 not out and Tavares 83 not out. Fowler a duck, Gower a duck. They don't make pretty readings. 61 from 8.4 overs for Snedden, 37 from 7 overs for Coney, 31 from 8 overs for Cairns, and Richard Hadley.
The selectors went with John Dyson, Alan Border, David Hooks, Captain Kim Hughes, Greg Chappell, Rod Marsh, Kepler Vessels, Rodney Hogg, Dennis Lilly. The score is no wicket for 2 in the second over, and Dennis Lilly is bowling to Ian Botham.
He's off the mark. Fine shot off the back foot. Slow outfield. The ball's coming to a halt. They're going for the 4. Well run in, Botham. Intelligent running by Chris Tavares. He made the pace there. Botham responded. They're through for 4.
Well, in the end, it was well run by Ian Botham, Bill, but he's...
It's a good shot. Tavares on the front foot. Slices the gap at cover. It's 4 runs. England no wicket for 12 after 3 overs. He's got hold of him, a great shot. He's picked that up, has hit the fence on the full, and he's hooked the great Dennis Lilly away. He was inside that line quickly. Hit that with tremendous power. He's got after it and he's picked it up beautifully. My word, when he goes, this man. It wasn't all that short. He just pivoted on the back foot and swung it over square leg for 4 runs.
To Ian Botham.
Hush over the Melbourne cricket ground, a big crowd here. He goes again, and it's 4 over cover. My word, that's a big hit. 1 bounce into the fence over cover. And could this be Ian Botham's day? Well, elevated to the opening position, taking on Lilly and Rodney Hogg.
The wicket.
Lilly again.
Oh, he's bowled in. Well, that was the old 3-card trick by Dennis Lilly. He moved the square leg just a little squarer. Botham a little bit on the back foot, looking perhaps to be pulling. And Lilly produced a jacker of a delivery and rattles off stump.
So that's the end of the aggressive Botham.
David Gower offside. And that's got to be a wide, and what's more 4.
The bouncer there going way over the top of Rodney Marsh's head, and what a wasted delivery that was.
It's amazing, isn't it? Lilly made 1 ball.
And that one he does cut away, and cuts away firmly to Alan Border, trying to get across there. He dives, or is it Dyson? Into the fence. It's John Dyson, in fact. It was a good effort by him, but 4 runs, 1 for 41.
Well, let's have a look at Chris Tavares' statistics from our digital computer. His highest score is 83. He has scored 142 runs, an average of 47.33.
Oh, there's a big appeal, and he's given him out. Yes, a little edge
square through the marsh, and that's a big wicket for Australia. David Gower tried to run that one again down to Maguire as third man. He got a little edge on it and
Stroke.
Lilly is back on the ground. Alan Lamb, the new batsman.
You'll have to go to stop that, John Dyson. No slip. And Lamb gets away with an outside edge there off Rackerman for 4 runs.
Is fourth. The strike rate at the present moment, 70.58. David Gower still at the top there with 100.97. Glenn Turner moving in there now, I see, and also John Wright.
And Lilly is around there, taking the catch, safe pair of hands, good anticipation, and Rackerman claims his second wicket. 3 for 66, Tavares out for 20 after 17 overs.
And the incoming batsman, Derek Randall, rolling his first over in this competition.
Border. Oh, he's put it down, but what a marvellous effort. If he'd caught that, it would have been one of the catches of the season. Not even 100% certain it carried to him, I think.
Alan Border, we saw one from him yesterday, and I think this is even better still. Diving attempt in the finish. The ball not quite getting to him, but a marvellous effort.
Lamb giving himself some room there, and he's beaten mid-on and mid-off with a very well-timed shot.
Alan Lamb really clubbing that one away. Hughes to go on the defensive.
And cutting that one away off the stumps. He's got it very fine, and it beats Rodney Hogg at third man. That's a very good boundary there for England. Takes them to 3 for 128.
Chance for running, he's gone over, it's gone, it's over, they missed it, and it's also struck Border on the head. As a Border, he's gone down. Backing up the throw, it went through Rackerman's hands. I'm sure that's Alan Border, but a nasty blow there.
Actually ran into the ball. He headed it in soccer fashion. The ball going through the hands now. Hughes coming in. That deflection took the ball above his hands and hit Hughes squarely on the head. And I think that might have been even more serious had it not hit the peak of Hughes's cap. It really pushed that peak back, and that peak probably protected Hughes and saved him from serious injury.
It's up in the air, could be gone. It's going between Marsh and Dyson, coming around, good pair of hands. He's missed it, didn't touch it. Look at Rodney Marsh, he's down there to do the fielding as well. And Frank Tyson, the pressure starting to show. The Australians looking very sloppy at the moment. They went down yesterday to New Zealand, and England throwing down the challenge. 159 for 3, plus 4 more by the look of it. Races out to the mid-wicket fence, and that's the difference a good wicket makes in the Melbourne cricket ground. You get a big crowd in, the batsmen can play their shots, and Alan Lamb and Randall are tearing the Australian attack apart in this final onslaught. Big hit, splits the gap, racing out towards the mid-wicket boundary or the long-on boundary, a bit straighter, and it's 4 more, and scoring at 12 runs per over England against Rackerman and Lilly. A great batting display. It's down to third man, and this is wide of Dyson, and that's 4. The Australians are nonplussed. The look on Hogg's face says it all.
Well, it does appear that...
Lilly. He's got hold of that. That's going out towards the boundary. Hits the fence on the first bounce, and it's 4 more. And what an onslaught by Alan Lamb. He's really taken the attack by the scruff of the neck this afternoon. Can he score 100? 8 balls remaining in this match. That's a big hit. That's a great hit straight down the ground. That's 6 big ones. A glorious hit by Alan Lamb. He races to 94, and the crowd loving this. What a great performance. Well, England lifting themselves today. A fine performance. They were sent into bat, and that's a glorious straight hit by Alan Lamb.
And there's a section of the crowd that are not stunned.
94, and he's gone. The play coming in. Will we get to it? He has. Well played, Alan Lamb. Caught it deep on for 94. One of the best hands you will ever see in a match that's been limited to 37 overs. Didn't quite get hold of that. Going for the 100 with a big hit. But a tremendous performance from this man. A great ovation as he leaves the Melbourne cricket ground. He's put England in a great position.
Lamb just falling short of imitating David Gower, who scored 2 centuries in 2 successive Benson Hedges World Series Cup matches.
Gould, the batsman, is Hogg to bowl the final 6 balls of this innings, 37th over. He's got hold of it. Down to Maguire. He's coming back for the second. This will be very close if the throw's good. His camper's there and he's home. Well done. Beautifully run. Hogg's not happy, but that was a great piece of running from a man just coming to the crease.
Gould, no time to waste. Gets on with the job. Throw from Maguire comes in. Gould scampering through for that run, and my word, he was short.
Bowling. Hogg pitching up. Gould hitting down the ground. So we're going to change bats, at least with when Derek wakes up.
Well, they're swapping bats.
48, Randall, he goes. It's over the top. It's through for 1. Comes back for the second. Will he make it? He does. They're going back again. And boy, their wheels have fallen off for Australia. Well played, Derek Randall. 51 to Randall. So after 37 overs, England a great 5 for 213.
Yes, 5 for 213, certainly a big total in just 37 overs, due mainly to the efforts of Alan Lamb and his 94, with a helping hand from Derek Randall and his 51 not out, although the rest of the innings was not much to write about. For the Aussies, Lilly and Rackman each got 2 wickets, while Rodney Hogg claimed victory.
Good shot. Beautiful shot by John Dyson. That barely went off the middle of the bat. Lamb was screaming around the deep third man, but into the boundary for 4, and the crowd are roaring.
Good shot this guy, John Dyson. The big crowd, the sun's coming out. Everything that points to a great match is there.
It's wide and smashed away by Border. He's not wasting any time. Left a short outside off stump, and he didn't quite middle it, otherwise would have gone to the boundary, but it looks as if they're going to run 4. Yes, they certainly are. Border's even looking for a 5th. I don't want to get too carried away out there. Running 4 is tough enough. Border was looking for the 5th there.
England bowler's got to concentrate on line and length, and that's some more. Can't afford to bowl there to Alan Border. 2 short deliveries, both smashed for 8. For 4, 8 runs in 2 deliveries.
Another quick single, and Randall, and they're overthrows. This could be another 5. The ball going down to the deep mid-on boundary. That's 5 runs to Australia. And the crowd loving every second of it.
Bob Woolwich has got to get hold of this England team and thrown away.
Thank you, Richie. Good shot. Beautiful shot, in fact. Absolutely straight down the ground. That was a half volley, perhaps just short of a half volley. But it was a straight ball, and Border's response was to hit it. Well, another good shot. Beautifully played. And that's Alan Border's 50. Once again, hitting it straight down the ground and acknowledging the applause from this huge crowd here at the Melbourne Fairground. What a little gem of a knock it's been. Coming from shots, and 2 going through for 2, and he could be out. He is out. Alan Border going for the second run, took on the throw from Derek Pringle and lost. Well, Alan Border very upset, and I think we might find out at a moment why. It wasn't a bad throw, but it was just a little bit away from the stumps, and I think Border might have been home. It's going to be close. It's not close.
Border out by 6 inches, and what a good decision that was by umpire Crofter.
And what a way for an innings to end. A great start to this innings by Alan Border. Out for 54 and Australia 1 for 85.
And Hooks goes into the gap, well placed. It's a short boundary out there. And he lobs it on the practice wickets and absolutely skates over that short fence. And he beats the offside field this time, and Derek Randall has a tremendous chase around, and what a good piece of work that is. He's kept it inside, but I think Hooks will come back for a 4. It was a nice piece of work by Derek Randall, but in the end, it didn't save any runs.
Let's see if Carnes can keep that ball away from Hooks' leg stump.
And Hooks straight down the ground. Tavray is going back, but he can't go back far enough. It's into the 5th row of the green seats. And that's a magnificent hit from David Hooks.
Hooks hit that in the meat of the bat.
And Dyson is going through for a run, and he'll be running at the bowler's end. And that's a sad end to a very good partnership. John Dyson putting his head down and not looking at David Hooks.
2 for 157.
Hooks goes past square point, and he's beaten Derek Randall. A magnificently timed shot there from Hooks. Randall is very deep, and he's a very fast fieldsman, but he couldn't cut that off.
He's gone. Good catch there by Gower. Hooks has gone. And England back in with a chance.
England so badly need that David Hooks has played a little gem. In the air. Miller's coming in. Picked up late and he's caught it. Well done, Jeff Miller. A safe pair of hands. Can use picking it off his toes on the up. Miller didn't let England or Norman Cowans down.
There with a chance. Kepler Vessels has been put down from number 1 to come in, one assumes, after Marsh. But any little touch of panic now would play right into England's hands.
Fine cover drive to off the mark. Miller's a fieldsman. That beats him. 4 to Rodney Marsh. Into the over 4 for 183. Nice to straight. Chance for a run in if he hits a wicket. Gets him and he's out. Marsh has run out. Backing up too far. Norman Cowans in quickly. Hit the stumps full on. And a real butt. Chappell hits and hits straight. 4 runs. Lofting Botham. England gambling on the boundaries, trying to save the singles. And Chappell hitting it right in the meat of the bat. Cleared mid-off safely. Raced away. This time he's gone over long on. 4 more. All of a sudden Australia with victory within their grasp. Beautifully struck by Greg Chappell, picking up both the off and the on sides of the wicket. 201 for 5, 13 runs needed.
Experience is showing through out there at the moment. He's only made 20 today, but he's looked at class play.
Bouncer and he hooks it. Going down past Tavray, it's 4 more. That's it for England, one would feel. Chappell taking up the challenge from Botham. The bouncer was dug in, he was inside the line and just helped it on its way. It's in the air. Going out the square leg, he's under, he's not going too well, but he's dropped it. Never looked like catching it. Never got under the ball. Not enough desperation there at square leg. Chappell survives. Picks up 2 more runs. What a disappointing bit of fielding right at the end for England there. They fielded so well today. Dug it in, Chappell went after it.
Phlegmatic attitude from Bob Willis. Not so from Ian Botham.
Races out to the boundary, a slower delivery. 20 runs up the over from Ian Botham, 5 for 211 Australia. Victory for Australia. Russell squeezes that through the gully for 4. The glorious crowd of over 70,000 people have seen a superb match here today. And 4 points for the Australian team, chasing 214 off only 37 overs. They've got it with 5.
In top order set up the win with Border, Dyson and Hooks all scoring half centuries before Greg Chappell took the result out of harm's way with a masterful 32. For the visitors, Norman Cowans took...
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Tyson.
Outside the off stump. That one's played through the gap on the offside, so the first time England score runs off the bat, and Botham turns for the third.
And this is a far more confident start by England. England having won the toss, Bob Willis having won the toss and decided to bat. It's obvious there is a purpose behind.
To Ian Botham.
That country, it's in the air, he's gone! He's given out, so Botham is out. That was a pretty good delivery from Rodney Hogg. It bounced just a little bit more than Botham expected. It probably went off the shoulder or the glove. And
catching the batsman completely unawares. And so a great blow that for Australia with one of the most prolific scorers for England out. Botham out. And the first wicket has fallen for 8. Slice of the bat to Kepler Wessels at second slip. And Kepler Wessels absolutely delighted to have a catch as simple as that come his way.
Oh, beautiful shot. Lovely, elegant drive through the offside, and that ball keeps rolling away to the boundary. I've said before, it's pretty fast outfield. That was nicely timed, and 4 from the minute it left the bat.
In the Sheffield Shield matches, he's taken 17 wickets, an average of 36, the best performance of 4 for 70. Against England, he took 4 wickets, an average of 19, and in one-day games, he's taken 3 wickets for 26. That was the one and only match he's played in for Queensland against Tasmania in the McDonald's Cup in Hobart.
Now drives again, beautiful shot through the gap at extra cover, down to the boundary, and that'll be 4 as well. So 2 beautiful shots in that over from David Gower, which have collected him 8 runs, and that's the end of Maguire's over.
John Maguire comes in now to Chris Tavares.
Oh, well played. Beautiful shot. Well, we've heard that Tavares can play shots, and that's an example of what his followers have been talking about. That one hit through extra cover with a lot of confidence all the way along the ground for 4.
Dennis Lilly to David Gower.
That's a good shot. They beat Thompson, and that's 4 runs. Straining to leg stump, and Gower very strong there and whipped it away. At the end of the over, England 1 for 35.
And there is on strike rating on Carl Rackerman, who unluckily not playing in this match. He's at the top, Ian Botham second, and Jeff Thompson down at the bottom there. 1 wicket every 36.75 deliveries.
He's gone straight down. He's dropped it. Wow, could you believe that? David Hooks, the Sook fieldsman. Chappell, the greatest Sook fieldsman probably ever, or one of the greatest fielding a deep fine leg. Hooks it.
To David Gower.
Good shots. Warrior shot. Not too many batsmen can pick a ball up as quickly as that from just short of the length, but David Gower can. He's had a superb summer.
A big blow to England. Alan Lamb out for a duck. And England now are in trouble. 4 for 47. Thompson. Bowling to Jesty again. Oh, well played. Beautiful shot through extra cover there. That went over-pitched by Thompson and blasted through the offside by Jesty for 4.
Dennis Lilly comes in now to Derek Randall. Beautiful stroke. Great piece of timing there from Randall. Just raced away across the outfield through mid-wicket. Trevor Jesty taking strike now to Greg Chappell. that's through, very square. Greg Chappell just straying a bit outside off stump. He is a very good, experienced limited overs cricketer in England and is playing well here today.
26 overs gone. Tavares, Botham, Gower and Lamb out. England 4 for 101.
And he's bowled in. Bowled neck and crop. Trevor Jesty trying to whip that one away to leg. And Maguire has sneaked through his defences. And he is on his way back to the pavilion.
And that's England's 5th wicket down for 101.
John Maguire to Randall.
They're bound to have trouble. That one flicked away fine by Randall. Down to the boundary for 4. And one wonders whether perhaps Derek Randall shouldn't be batting a little higher in this England batting order. Oh, great shot. Beautifully played that by Randall. Right off the middle of the bat. And he picked his spot then. Lilly's fielding at a straightish position at mid-on. Randall closed the face just a little and knocked it past Lilly's right hand for 4. That's 4. Once again, Randall placing that perfectly. It was going down and only just flicked away on the leg side. Greg Chappell down there is very square.
Sent in to push things along right from the start, but that failed. He made a duck.
Randall 3 times has decided not to go for the second run out there. Finally went on John Dyson's arm. Was out for a dashing 47 and just signals to Ian Gould there that it wasn't his fault, nor it was. Dyson has been throwing beautifully. And that was much too good a throw for Derek Randall. 6 for 156. To Gould. Beautiful shot for 4. He's playing very well, Ian Gould. He was brought out here specifically for the limited overs matches, apart from being the second string wicketkeeper to Bob Taylor. And today he's played with great common sense. Rodney Hogg to Vic Marks. Good shot. Flashing square drive there, and England must do this. The overs have been reduced. They have to fling the bat at everything now and still try and play out their 41 overs, but we're into the 37th now, and they must be throwing the bat at everything to pick up every available run. This is the 38th over now. The rain is coming down, but I think it looks a bit heavier on your screen than it is actually out in the centre. It's a sun shower. The sun is bursting through the clouds now. Players throwing shadows, and the lights are on as well here when it became very dull, when we were getting the fringe of the storm coming across the ground. The ground authorities put the lights on. Here now is Jeff Thompson. Vic Marks has taken strike. Great shot. That's good cricket from Vic Marks. No thought of anything but pushing that run rate up to around 5 and over.
That's a marvellous shot from Vic Marks, really hitting that one in the middle. Jeff Thompson making the mistake of pitching short. England 6 for 187.
Rodney Hogg to Vic Marks. Great shot. Super shot from Vic Marks. Had some blinders out there since he came in for this mini partnership with Ian Gould. Lilly to Marks. Oh, good catch. Marks hit that with plenty of power. And Marks has done a great job for England there. He made 22 in that splendid partnership with Ian Gould.
That's the 6th England wicket down for 197.
Safely caught. Gould is gone for 42. 8 for 201. But it is still a rate of 5 and over for the Australians to reach.
For them much more comfortable than that. Ian Gould very well made 42.
and England are 8 for 200.
No longer with us, I'm afraid. 9 for 201. Gould and Jackman go in this last over.
The MCG. So Robin Jackman leaves the SCG with a duck against his name on the board. And Daddles the duck accompanies him to the dressing room. It's 9 for 201.
Must be run out. The innings finishes. They pick up a single. .207. We pick up play now with Bob Willis coming in to bowl to Alan Border. There's just one run on the board. That's scored by John Dyson. It's the first over. And with me in the commentary box is Frank Tyson. Beautiful shot. Border has picked that up magnificently. Shades of Melbourne last Sunday. Wasn't all that bad in delivery, but just gave him enough room to move.
And the England
Safely away for 4 again. Room on the offside for Border to play that square slash. 8 runs from the first over. And 4 more. Too short.
Well, who's going to stop this man, Alan Border, when he's in this mood? 1,000 people here at the Sydney Cricket Ground tonight. And Jackman can sense the atmosphere.
4 more. Beaten Tavares down on the boundary, and that's an expensive over. An offside field set. 2 boundaries through the offside, and then that one down the leg side. Two men in catching position. Oh, good catch by Bob Willis. Very well hit by Border, and that was a fine catch by the English captain. 1 for 40 Australia, and they lose the man who's given them such impetus for this innings.
So the first wicket has fallen. Alan Border for an aggressive 31, and for Australia 1 for 40. David Hooks, the new batsman at the crease. He's not on strike at the moment. Contact.
4 runs. Outside edge, and I think Jackman's having a word or two to say about that. He brought Dyson's head round there very smartly.
And so the gap is closing after 12 in for his first over. Willis is wide at slip, probably in a second slip position. And straight away, David Hooks smashes him over the top of mid-wicket, and that's raced away down to the boundary at mid-wicket for 4.
Go along with you there, Tony. Possibly got outside the off stump with his pad as well.
He's hit that like a rocket. Well, you can't bowl out there to David Hooks. If you do, he smashes it as hard as anyone else in the world.
What do you think? There on the ground at the moment.
In the air, and he's gone. He's out. Caught by Derek Randall at mid-wicket. John Dyson tried to repeat the shot he played earlier in the over. This time hitting it in the air and straight to Derek Randall. He made no...
Innings, Australia 2 for 72.
Kim Hughes, the new man in, Australia's captain. Well, he'll be hoping for a decent sort of knock today. It is his birthday. His team only have 4 points, New Zealand 6, and Australia face Jackman. And he's gone, he's nicked it. Hughes is out, and have a look at Robin Jackman. He is over the moon. Kim Hughes has failed yet again.
And the man to take the wicket, Robin Jackman, and that's his first wicket in big match cricket in Australia.
Over the moon with it, as Australia lose their third wicket, that of Captain Kim Hughes.
He's got him! He's bowled him off the inside edge, and look at Robin Jackman and the England's players running from everywhere. Chappell out without scoring, and Robin Jackman really striking back for England. Captain and vice-captain out without scoring.
Good delivery this. Just came back a little bit, found the inside edge. It was a good in-cutter. And Chappell dragged it back from inside edge onto leg stump. And what a go for Robin Jackman here. Hughes and Chappell for naught. 2 wickets falling at 73. And Australia 4 for 73, needing 208 to win. Jackman to Vessels.
And he's knocked him over. A beautiful delivery through to the fence of Captain Vessels, and look at Robin Jackman. And why shouldn't he be excited? He's putting one in with a real chance at 5 for 77. A fine spell this, one of the best spells we've seen from a medium pacer in the series. A big crowd here, well over 30,000 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. He hits it. The man's out there. He doesn't pick it up. It bounces just inside the rope, I believe. For 4. Umpires confirmed, but I'm sure that bounced inside the rope. No, he's giving it 6. Well, there you go. Well, 6 to David Hooks. It took Tavares a long time to pick that up. The crowd roar.
Hemmings to Hooks.
That's not what Bob Willis really wanted from Eddie Hemmings. It was a very ordinary delivery, that one, but nevertheless David Hooks got in position beautifully and punched that through the covers for 4. 22 overs. Australia 5 for 96. 41 overs to be bowled. He's got him, giving himself some room, trying to hit through the gap on the offside, and Marks, who's bowled a fine spell. A very good spell from Vic Marks. 3 overs, 1 for 6.
And it's 6 for 96.
Dennis Lilly comes to the crease with Australia at 6 for 96, and Victor Marks strikes a...
Oh, and a good piece of bowling there by Eddie Hemmings. A little bit of turn. And Dennis Lilly well and truly beaten. Eddie Hemmings enjoying that. Coming back after quite a long...
By Hemmings. He's on his way back, and it's now 7 for 99.
That's 7 for 99.
5. He's only in his second over.
Certainly the fast bowlers don't look as though they're intent on hanging around with Rodney Marsh. They look more as though they want to do all of the scoring, which seems to be rather strange tactics to me. Oh, and a good delivery there from Eddie Hemmings. Once again turning the ball. He turned one past Dennis Lilly's bat, and on this occasion he's put one straight past Rodney Marsh. So a very fine bowling performance from him. Australia 8 for 106.
And meanwhile, Australia making a despairing effort to save this game. It seems fruitless because there's been a tremendous collapse here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The second Australian wicket falling with 72 on the board.
And there makes 6 in a row. The last 6 Australian batsmen have been bowled, and none more comprehensively than...
And Vic Marks successful. Total now 9 for 106.
He's got it high, but not very far. And Alan Lamb has completed the Australian innings by taking that catch from the bowling of Eddie Hemmings. And England getting a victory that they badly needed. And that keeps them right in this Benson and Hedges limited over competition. Takes them up to 6 points. They join New Zealand on points, although they have played one more game.
Two damning statistics there for the Australians as they sit back and ponder what happened to them this evening at the SCG. They lost 9 for 37 in that innings, needing 208 to win. But worse still, they were able to bat for only 27.3 overs of their permitted 41. It'd be bad enough to be bowled out for 41, but to be knocked over for 27.3 is quite extraordinary, even in what is proving to be an extraordinary season. Just 3 men in double figures, Dyson 23, Border 31, and Hooks 32. At one stage, Australia 1 for 72, all out 109. The man at the back of the picture there is Robin Jackman. Tremendous performance from him. 15 taken from his first over by Allan Border, and he struck back to take 3 for 2 and finish with 3 for 41. And just have a look at the spinners there. Vic Marks and Eddie Hemmings condemned to bowl with a wet ball on a greasy pitch and with a greasy outfield. 9.3 overs, and they took 5 for 20.